Hey guys, it's Stacy and Hutch, and apparently our bosses thought that we didn't talk enough.
So we're going to do a podcast.
We're going to say too much. Hopefully we don't get fired, but it's a podcast, so they can't fire us for having our own thoughts.
And we don't get paid for this, so how can you fire from something that you don't actually do for a job?
You're not getting paid?
No, are you?
Let's start the podcast. Hello, my dear friend Ross.
Hello, every time.
Oh, you got to mute your...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, mute your computer, bud.
Mute my computer.
Yeah, mute it. You can,
How about that?
There you go.
You want to start over or are we live?
Technology's new.
I didn't know it was going to do that to you. My apologies.
I like Star Wars.
I like turtles. Every time you start the show with hello, and Stacy does it too, I think if there's an episode of Seinfeld. Yeah, I think we've probably talked about
it.
Okay.
Even though I hate Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'll never understand you people who don't like Seinfeld don't like the Beatles.
Beatles are overrated.
No, I know, and we've talked about this. Do you just completely dislike them, or it's just more of a meh?
I'll listen to a Hey Jude, maybe. I'll listen to that's pretty much it. I don't.
What about Wings? I'm a big Paul McCartney and Wings guy.
I'll listen to Wings more than I'd listen to the Beatles.
Okay.
But I'd listen to the Traveling Wilburys more than I'd listen to anyone else.
That's some good stuff right there. How about a power group?
Or I got my mind set on you. I think that stuff was so much better than what the Beatles could have ever done.
They were all good in their own rights.
No.
When they broke up,
not really.
The Beatles all thought that Ringo might be the most successful of them all.
Ringo was the worst of them all. But no offense, peace and love.
But he did also have, of course, now I'm blanking on. Got to sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy.
I don't know. I know I'm probably not the norm, but I'm not a fan of the Beatles. I wouldn't pay to see Paul McCartney.
Oh, and I have numerous times.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, I don't know. I would pay to see Fleetwood Mac. I would pay to see Taylor Swift, but I can't.
I don't think
I tried.
I don't think anybody can.
You know, funny story.
Did we mention this, by the way? Thanks to Mattress Galaxy for letting us babble about your dislike of everything that's great in the world.
Yes. This will be the least listened to podcast.
This is actually a great setup, by the way, before you tell your story. Yeah? I told you we're obviously missing Stacy today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use a bit that I use on my podcast, Minnesota Sports Chat, for all the sports fans that are listening to this pod. I'm basically going to interview you with something we call 5 filler questions.
I'm getting interviewed?
But before we get to that, I want you to tell the story that I cut off.
Okay, so I did this recently, and it's worked. Okay? How many dating apps are you on?
3, and they're all the rudimentary
Hinge,
ones.
Tinder, Bumble.
Correct.
Me too.
And do I need to be on more?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Facebook dating, I'm on that too, but that's kind of...
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is a thing. I mean, it's easy to sign up for it because you already have whatever.
Can't they just go on Facebook and post, hey, I'm looking for a date?
Hold on, just wait though. So I got off the apps for quite a while. It wasn't until yesterday or the day before I re-signed up. Okay. But when I was on the apps, I was never getting many matches, never getting many hits for whatever reason, because there's an oversaturation of men on these apps. And women just can't figure out. And also, this goes both ways. Once the match happens, doesn't always mean that there's going to be conversation, which is frustrating. Because the women on Bumble let it time out. And you're like, no!
But I was interested.
I liked you. Okay, so my profile said this. Let me read what it said, okay? It said, let's do cute blank together. I believe therapy is super beneficial. I love my career, but it doesn't get in the way of my personal life, and in fact, enhances it. I do have 2 amazing kids. And
you do.
And I was not getting many matches on that. And then I added one sentence before that on all 3 of my profiles. One sentence before that. And I've been getting matches like crazy. Do you want to know what that one sentence is that is getting me matches like crazy?
I do.
How hard is it to find a date to Taylor Swift?
Do you know what line I used one time, and it was all that my profile was when I was going through weeks, if not months, of either no matches or limited matches?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I take that back. I think I kept my little paragraph that was basically just looking for a life partner to help me bring in the groceries and scratch my back during the dry weather season, right? But then I added, I promise you I will be better than your last boyfriend and treat you like a human. And that's when I got a lot of
But see,
likes.
Your difference is that you're not promising tickets to Taylor Swift to go on a date with.
No.
I, however, whatever.
You now, for the record, will you be able to get into Taylor Swift?
Sure,
Do we know?
I'll get tickets. If I find the right person, I will spend the money on StubHub to get tickets. I'm not going to say where the tickets are.
Now, will it be me, or am I still in Hutch jail for turning me down?
By the way, I don't think
games?
you and I would be matching on.
No, I think you and I would have a ton of fun at a Tay.
But look at these matches that I'm getting. Like, the quality is just is crazy. I haven't had quality like this in a long time. I mean,
what I might steal that and say.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm going to take these people. And listen, I know I'm getting matches because they want to go to Taylor Swift. All I'm saying is I put it up there and all of a sudden women are matching with me.
You also never know what that will turn into. You have friends like this. I have friends like this where you hear stories about how they met.
Yep.
And inevitably one, maybe both of them will say, oh, the first time we went out, I didn't even like him or I didn't even like her.
Yeah.
And here you go. Years later, they're married, right? Or I didn't think they were good for me.
Right.
So that
happened with my ex-wife, who we had kids together. She was like, I was just going out with you because it was something to do and it was a meal. And look, we ended up getting married. Yeah, we were together for 10 plus years, had 2 great kids together. We're best friends now. I mean, so yeah, listen, I got a hook, line, and sinker them.
Is it creepy if every time you mention your kids, I tell you how adorable they are?
No, it's fine.
I
get it all the time because it's not me.
Oh my gosh. I said this on a pod with you and Stacy probably a month ago. The day you brought them in here, it was like an off day for you, right? You brought them in here.
Yeah. I had to do an event here.
Okay.
But I was off for the show because,
They left, and this is probably 1, 2 o'clock. The rest of the day, I was just mind-boggled and distracted about how did you create cute kids? And also when they left, I couldn't stop telling everybody, Hutch is the cutest kids on the planet. So cute. Like your kids are like squeeze me cute. You see them and you just want to give them big old hugs.
Story. I wonder if I have pictures so I can show people that are watching. Sorry, I was just on dating apps. Oh, more matches.
Your daughter is just the cutest ever. Your son, very handsome, but the way your daughter was presenting herself that day, so cute.
Ooh, can't show that photo.
Well, you can show them to me after the pod.
No, you don't.
No, maybe I don't want to see them. No, Hutch, they're so cute.
They can't really see them, but
I can.
Yeah, but anyway.
Before I play 5 filler questions with you.
Oh,
do you want to talk about Mattress Galaxy?
Yeah, let me talk about Mattress Galaxy. I want to thank them for sponsoring Stacy and Hunt Say Too Much.
Thank you.
And you got to check out Mattress Galaxy because they're doing something now. They have a larger selection of items in stock. And in fact, you can use their bed selector tool for guidance on getting your best sleep. You know, we're talking about how stressful the holidays are, families coming over, and really improved sleep is going to help with the stress and the anxiety. And you're going to get the improved sleep guarantee. And you're like, what is that? Well, you can rest easier on your new mattress, knowing that if you don't love it, and they mean love it, inside 90 days, you can just exchange it for something that works. And they have same day delivery. Plus, they're local. And around the holidays, we want to make sure we shop local as well. No cost exchanges, no over the top fees or hidden charges like many other people do. No, you're going to get the best quality brands, and you can do that just by going to mattress-galaxy.com. And when you do, by the way, you're going to see all of their events and their sales that they have going on. It's right on that front page there. So mattress-galaxy is where you can go to do that. And they have many locations that you can check out in Hastings, Hudson, New Richmond, and Woodbury.
My good friend just went through the process of getting a new mattress and whole kit and caboodle through Mattress Galaxy and raved about the process.
Yeah, it's really cool. Stacy loves hers for sure. And she's got the Tempur-Pedic thing that goes every which way and massages you. And
we talked about this in your absence. It came up somehow, just how we, for some reason, we always say we love to tell people how bad our sleep was. Like that's a point of pride, or we didn't sleep enough.
Right.
It's like, well, no, it should be the exact opposite. We should be bragging about, I feel great today at work because of how great I slept, which by the way, I do feel great.
We all
today
just
at
talk
work.
about how awful we did. All right. What's this thing you're doing here? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So there's no open, there's no nothing. I have a side hustle with my Minnesota sports podcast, which again is Minnesota Sports Chat, available wherever you get your podcasts, including the Podaman app. And Phil Mackey, who works for Score North, one time I had him on my
Abandoner.
The Abandoner. Yeah, he left us for warmer climate.
Warmer. It's Seattle.
Well, that's the sad part. It's warmer. It's not that much warmer.
I know, yeah. I was going to say, it's Seattle. It's still dreary.
So I'm up to like 140 some episodes on this pod. When I first started, I was doing the old kind of radio podcast bit of, sometimes you just, this sounds bad, but you're looking for something to help be entertaining and fill content.
Yeah.
Well, I was interviewing Phil, and I said, Phil, I'm going to give you 5 questions. Came up with the great idea, 5 filler questions. So on my actual podcast, it's spelled PHIL apostrophe ER because I came up with it with Phil Mackey. So that's the backstory.
Okay.
Phil Mackey, of course, Score North Purple Daily, if you're trying to figure out the reference there. So you're getting 5 random questions that I just thought of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Sometimes they're better. Sometimes they're worse. These ones, I feel kind of average about these, but I think a lot of good conversation.
These aren't Barbara Walters Oprah questions. I'm not going to start crying.
These are not Wobble Walters.
Okay.
Actually,
Walters.
It's funny you should say that. One of the questions I deleted was, when was the last time you cried?
I don't want to talk about it. Too soon.
Exactly.
Way too soon.
Exactly. So I left that one off.
Way too soon.
Okay, so you're going to get what I call on my pod, the cheap podcast open. Are you ready?
All right, yes.
5 filler questions with Hutch.
That was awful.
From KS95. Well, it's a cheap podcast open.
Okay, sorry, yeah. You're still working on ours.
Yeah, you got to.
You're still working on our Snapchat one.
You got to remember, when I started this podcast, I was literally broadcasting from my kitchen table.
Oh, okay, got it.
During my Hubbard hiatus.
I feel like I should have some intense music on these questions.
Cool. Question number 1 for 5 filler questions. This is actually perfect. The intense music. We have would you describe it as a janky elevator here at Hubbard headquarters?
Yes.
So you're
all of them.
You're stuck in the janky elevator here at Hubbard.
Yes.
With one KS95 employee.
Oof.
Tell us, Hutch, who would you least like to be stuck in that elevator with? Not who would you enjoy the most. Who would you literally see stuck in that elevator with you and say, I will climb through the ceiling towels to get out of here if I have to?
KS95er.
I mean, you can give me somebody else if you want, but this is say too much on KS95. So let's rat on a KS95 employee.
How long am I stuck in this elevator for?
Well, how long is it going to take the fire department to come rescue you?
Okay, all right.
Could be 10 minutes, could be 3 hours.
I'm going to say Ryan. And it's not because Ryan and I hate each other. I don't think he hates me. I don't hate him. We play a bit on the radio that we do. I find him great, but I know that I'm just going to talk and we're just going to have conversations. And when you talk to Ryan, he keeps everything in a lockbox and then brings it on the air.
Yes, I've heard this.
And so what Ryan does is he'll have a normal conversation and he'll care about the conversation, but he's also keeping it in the back of his head. And so I know that if Ryan and I get into a serious conversation, he's going to keep it locked in his head and he's going to bring it up on the air.
And it's going to come back to get you.
Right.
And if you're trapped in an elevator, that conversation that you're going to give him is going to be like if I had more time in my life, I would have done this.
Right.
It's kind of a more tamed down version of the airplanes going down and you're admitting everything.
It'd be like I'd say, oh my God, I had a sex dream about so-and-so from KS95.
And that's going to come up on the morning show.
True. It happened recently.
You know why I brought it?
It was actually 2 people. Yeah. I'm not going to say names.
Boy, girl, boy. What are we talking about here?
Girl. Girl.
But
I'm not going to say who. Because it could be, listen, KS95, we have a big staff.
Yes, it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be on air.
But I'm just saying.
You like 5 filler questions already, don't you?
No, because I'm telling on myself and I shouldn't. And I'm not, guys, don't text me. Stacy doesn't even know this. It's not Stacy, by the way. I'm going to tell you guys right now. It is not Stacy. In the least.
Well, I'll try and save you a bit. Not nearly as embarrassing.
She seems like she'd be too mean in bed anyway. She wouldn't be gentle.
I can't the last couple nights, I think it's going back probably within the last week, I've had a couple of different plane crash dreams. One, like it's a big jetliner that I'm on that's crashing. The other one is I'm on like a little prop plane that's crashing. Where's that coming from?
That
lately?
reminds me of my sex dreams.
just crashes. Let's move on to question number 2 of 5 filler
we're
questions.
only on number 2
for
Great.
Hutch.
All right.
I think they get less revealing.
Okay.
The most overrated, we're firmly in the holiday season right now. What is the most overrated holiday tradition in your opinion?
Most overrated.
And it even could be 4th of July. I'm just using it now because we're into the what people define as the holiday season. I think pumpkin pie is nasty. That's mine.
Or if we're talking food, then
give me anything. I'm just saying.
I don't
think
know.
Pumpkin
Like,
pie is nasty.
See, here's the thing: is I love all the traditions. It's because I've never been close to my family physically.
Okay.
So we rarely get together for the holidays anymore. So I think I miss those.
So let me turn it around then. What's your favorite holiday tradition? What do you love the most about it?
I miss my mom starting the stuffing mix, cooking it. You know how you get the celery and the butter? Yes.
Okay.
Or Christmas.
Yep.
Or whatever. But you get that celery and the onion and the butter smell.
Yeah.
And that starts your day. And you're just smelling that. And something good's on the way. I think it's just the smells of when people get together and Christmas. Now, by the end of the day, the smells are different. But before everyone starts eating, it's the smells for sure. I love turning on the parade. I like turning on the parade in the background and doing that.
So you and I have this in common about Thanksgiving, which just happened, by the way. Full disclosure, if you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to steal your bit now. What do you always say sometimes during the Mattress Galaxy ads? And if you're listening in 6 months from now, don't do this because it won't. I love my Thanksgiving tradition. I'm a single dude at this point. The last few years it's turned into, because I got a lot of old man in me. I wake up, I flip on the parade like you mentioned, Hutch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the newspaper. I'll literally go through the Thanksgiving newspaper, see if there's any Black Friday deals I want to partake in. And I'll always watch the Lions game. I'm a firm believer that it should always be Cowboys and Lions on Thanksgiving.
When did they start that tradition? What year?
I believe I had heard 60s, somewhere in the 60s, 70s.
No.
80s.
1934.
They've been playing on Thanksgiving Day that long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. You are, I know you're 100% right. I was just thinking like the NFL tradition. That would have been 50s or 60s. So.
All right. What's filler number 3?
Question number 3. You decide later today you're done working in media. You're out. You've had enough of me, Stacy, and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What is Hutch going to do with the rest of his life? We talked about this last week about other jobs that we thought we might have had.
So I got to pick a job. I didn't win the lottery.
You didn't win the lottery. You're going to work. You just thought you had a new calling. What would that new calling be? Or what maybe have you always wanted to do but haven't?
OnlyFans.
Okay.
I'd take a shot at it just to see.
What would you try and do on OnlyFans?
I think we all know.
It doesn't have to be dirty.
No, but that's where the money is.
That is where the money is.
I mean, I'd start with feet because I have gorgeous feet.
People are into feet too.
But then we'd move up to ankles and kneecaps.
Can I see the ankles? Can you show?
I thought you were going to say something else. No. Thought you were going to say something else.
Actually, you know what? I don't need to see either of them. This has already been too revealing.
I would try OnlyFans because it seems like the easiest way to make money.
And you can work on your own time.
Right.
I've always said if I left this business, I want something that I can pour my heart and soul into for the most part.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I can, if I wake up on like a Tuesday and I don't feel it, I can wait a few hours before I get into work, right? Like it's okay. I'll wait till I'm inspired.
Right. And I'm only saying that because I'm not an influencer, so I can't make money that way. I got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I figured that, but I don't know if women pay for that. Like I know guys pay for OnlyFans, but I don't know if women would pay for,
I think
I probably should do a follow up. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
What's your how can people find you on maybe the Insta machine? What is that?
Hutch KS95.
Hutch KS95. If you would pay to see Hutch's feet or ankles, just let him know on Instagram.
Honestly, anything would boost my confidence right now. You can see my hair.
Do you want question number 4?
Yes, let's do it.
Question number 4 of 5 filler questions.
God.
The most embarrassing story you're comfortable telling us.
I told this one. I think
is it double underwear?
Double underwear is embarrassing. Did I do that on the podcast?
Yeah, you've done that, I think, because you did it one time and then I brought it up and then you said, we don't always have to talk about my double underwear.
Well, I did that too because it's on the air too. Double underwear is definitely one of my most embarrassing stories, I think, ever. The one where I was not, I was embarrassed, but it was my date to Sioux Falls. Remember that one where she was snapping pictures of herself in lingerie and sending it to other men?
Oh, I don't know if I've heard this.
Oh,
maybe I have, but I
so
just don't
I'd been on a couple
remember.
dates with this person, and she, her and I was a big Chris Stapleton fan. He was playing in Sioux Falls.
Okay.
I'm like, let's just go. Let's just, spontaneously, let's go. We'll go to the concert, and then next day we'll drive back. So we went and we got there early in the morning, Sioux Falls, went to the mall, and got back to the Airbnb we were at. And she gave me her phone to order an Uber to go to the concert.
So now
I do that. And then we go to the concert. Then we start drinking,
Yep.
And we've had a lot to drink. So we're like, let's go. She gives me her phone again to order a Lyft. So I order it, but a thing comes down on the screen. You know how like the text message comes down?
Yeah.
And it says, wow, that was a sexy pic.
And you're like, wait a second.
And I'm like, screw this. I don't care. I'm hitting it. Yeah. Like you give me your phone. I'm going to, something's going to pop up. And then I saw the thread. And she literally from the bathroom of the Airbnb we were staying at sending pictures. Now, granted, her and I weren't like a couple.
Yeah.
We weren't dating. And like, you can do what you want, but you're literally on a date.
But you don't need to do it at that moment.
No.
Right?
Like, we were just like friends going to, obviously we'd been on dates and stuff. But
now, is that embarrassment or is that just excruciating disappointment?
Not done yet.
Okay. I'm taking my glasses off for this one.
So I confronted her. And she drove us down. So that means we've got to drive back when I basically said, I don't want to see you anymore. If you're going to be doing this, like, whatever.
Why didn't you wait?
I know. She said she wasn't going to drive me back.
How far are you from where you need to be?
Sioux Falls to Minneapolis. What do you mean? How far am I in Sioux Falls? I need to get back to Minneapolis.
Sorry, I was thinking the entire time you said that you were working in Sioux Falls.
No, this was after I got divorced.
Oh, Hutch, I'm so glad we did this bit.
Okay, so she goes, I'm not taking you back. And I'm like, so I'm looking at flights and they're like, for one way, $600 for a 30-minute flight. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do this. So I was like, maybe I can call Grant. Maybe he'll drive down and
come pick me up in Sioux Falls.
Mind you, I had the day off, but Stacy was working. Other people were working. Finally, I convinced her, I'm like, hey, please, just give me a ride back. And she finally did, but it was bad. She was crying and like, it was just awful. And then playing every country song.
Oh my goodness.
It was so bad. And it was just so awkward and embarrassing. And and that was like my first foray into
dating.
And I'm like, this sucks. And so that's how I knew I didn't want to date many people all the time.
That
like I was just wanting to find someone and be done with. And a year later, still there.
You should have just stewed on that for the 3-hour drive home. And then the moment you get out of the car, you should have just been like, and I never want to see you again. Thanks for the ride.
So bad. I don't know what's worse, that or double underwear. So double underwear is bad, but it's so far along. Like it was in my high school years that I've kind of gotten over it.
I think the part that got me out of this entire story, and I'm so sorry to derail it.
Yeah.
They want $600 to go from Sioux Falls to Minneapolis.
It was day of.
But there had to be open seats on flights.
Well, there were, but they wanted to make sure that if some schmuck that, said, I'm done with you. Yeah.
He
was going to pay for the flight.
PO'd his air quotes girlfriend.
It wasn't my girlfriend. Let's be honest with that.
Air quotes.
I just dated someone a couple times and we spontaneously just went to Sioux Falls and learned my lesson.
Well, Hutch, will finish similar to kind of where we started. It's been a theme of the show.
We got more.
No, it's your cute children. This is the 5th question.
Okay.
And maybe this has already happened. I don't know. Maybe your ex-wife / best friend maybe already has this part taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
When your sweet, adorable children start saying, Dad, we want a pet, how long will it take you to break down and buy said dog, cat, hamster, snake, whatever it is?
It won't. We had a dog.
Really?
When we Donovan, we split up.
Okay.
She got Leo, the cat.
Okay.
And I got Donovan, the dog.
Okay.
Which I love Donovan. Donovan was great. But just me being at home and then going to work, it just wasn't the best way for him to live his life.
Yeah.
Because he was home alone.
Yeah.
And the kids weren't there, so they didn't play with him. They saw him very little. And so he just needed a better family. And so I rehomed him.
Okay.
To a family that I know. So we can still see Donovan if we need to and all that stuff.
That's kind of the best of both worlds.
And he has a cabin he can run up north. He has another dog that he plays with, and the people that have him are retired. So he's getting the best life that he could possibly get with the situation. That being said, I love animals.
Yep.
If I get another animal, it will be a dog. But I also love to travel.
Yes. Yep.
And I know it's just an added headache that I don't need.
I'm struggling with this because I have an aging cat.
Mm-hmm.
She's not sick. I think she'll be around for some time still, but she's 14 and a half almost, right? Yeah. So it's literally down to, as I jokingly tell people, 2 weeks to 5 years, right? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to get a dog, but for the same reason as you talked about, I don't travel as much, but you see the schedule that we work here. Sometimes they can be long days.
It's sometimes I go straight from here to
somewhere,
host a concert or host the suite or something, and then the KS95 for kids. It's a long full day.
Correct.
So I wouldn't want to put that on an animal, so I just choose not to, and I'd love to, but I just
And my logical backup,
I don't want to be selfish about it.
Well, exactly. My logical backup has been, well, I'll get 2 cats. Well, then you create this. First off, you create the vicious cycle of, I love, love, love cats. I've had cats my entire life. But if you don't declaw them, no matter how well you train them, they're going to claw something you don't want them to claw.
Yep.
So that's one thing that I think about. And then the second thing you think about is if you get 2 cats to keep them entertained when I'm gone on those 10, 12-hour days, eventually one of them passes away first.
Right.
So you create this vicious cycle of you always need 2 cats.
Yep.
Right? One passes away, you get another one. And I've been through this with family members who have bought cats from litters. It is awful when one of the cats passes away because the other one is just like, what the bleep, what the bleep, what the bleep. And then that is awful for you to deal with. I don't want to go through that anymore.
No, it is a vicious cycle, and you just want to make sure that
fish tank.
No, God, no. And no reptiles.
I need a fish tank that somebody comes and cleans for me.
We want to thank Mattress Galaxy for bringing you Stacy and Hutch Say Too Much. It's another one in the books. Guess what? Next week, we hope to have, crossing our fingers, but Kelsey Ballerini will be joining me.
I don't know what this was for those watching.
I don't know what that
YouTube.
was either. That's why I stared at you.
She might be joining me if I can clear my schedule.
Yes. Well, she'll definitely be with me, and we'll talk to her. So hopefully you'll get Kelsey Ballerini coming up here on Stacy Not Say Too Much. Bye.